And we're live. Plex Report, episode 5.
Welcome back.
Sorcha. We're doing it again. This time, 1235 Southeast Reynolds Street. So, Plex Report. Sorcha, what are we doing here?
We teach people how to use their homes to make money and offset their mortgage
That's
because
right.
mortgages are expensive.
Mortgages are always expensive. Nobody loves their mortgage, but that's never been more true than the summer of 2023 with rates absolutely spiking.
It's
Loan
gonna be well
amounts are
read.
huge. Purchase prices. I think I saw a report this morning that national real estate values have hit all-time highs. So the price you pay for the house is high, and the price you pay for the mortgage is also high. So it's a double whammy of affordability. And we are really leaning into the opportunity that this creates, which means the market's kind of slowing down, allowing you to negotiate some interesting things, but also taking advantage of this new modern world of short-term rental income, Airbnb, midterm rental income. And so we're looking for properties that have income potential. So a first-time buyer doesn't have to be completely just wiped out by
Every month by their mortgage payment.
these $4,500 mortgage payments, right?
Yeah, and that's what I specialize in real estate. Is my focus is teaching people and helping people find properties that will make good short-term and midterm rentals. And I teach them how to set them up, how to market them, how to find them, how to analyze them as investments.
And my role is to help people set up the proper financing strategy, help them understand how to have real estate serve their larger financial goals, manage their cash flow, understand the tax benefits, understand financial planning, and how buying a house can launch you into a world of financial safety and freedom. So let's get started. What's the property we're looking at today? I'm going to start sharing my screen here.
All right. So this house, while James does that, I'll tell you a little bit about it. So this house is located in a really good corridor for commuters. It's a little bit more urban feeling, but there's a lot of stuff walking distance nearby. It's just outside of like Selwood and Reed and a couple of other really popular neighborhoods.
Yeah, this is called the Brooklyn neighborhood in close in Southeast Portland. And it's kind of this little sliver between the river and this train yard, I think
Yep.
is the governing factor. And then
Yeah.
this main road, this yellow road, which is Highway 99, kind of cuts across. And as soon as you get south of this, you're officially in Selwood, which is the
Most popular
crown
neighborhood.
jewel of East Portland, right?
Yeah. Most popular neighborhood on the east side is Selwood. So it's really close to a lot of really cool stuff. But what's awesome about this place is it has a sweet, super cute studio apartment in the
I
back with
think
its own separate entrance.
the curb appeal of this house is 10 out of 10. I mean,
Yeah.
this looks fantastic. It's
The
got a great
landscaping is
shape,
incredible.
and then it's got these very stylish exteriors. Let's go ahead and zoom through inside. I mean, very,
It's super cute. I've actually
very
been inside of this house with a client who was considering it.
nice.
They ended up deciding that they needed one more bedroom in the main house for their needs, but this house is sweet. It is a large house with big bedrooms, which is
Okay.
rare in these old craftsman homes.
Yes.
The kitchen has got a super functional layout with newer appliances, and it's just like cute as a button.
Yeah, it's very stylish,
It is.
very well appointed. So that's your main house, right?
Yep, that was the main thing.
Um, And let's get into this ADU. So you open this little side fence and you walk straight in. Is this detached or attached?
It's detached and it has its own yard. That's the ADU's yard that you're walking into in that photo. It
I wonder
has
how
its
cool
own
this
little
is.
yard. It has super cute, light, bright, open feel.
Two
Little
double doors here. Let's walk in here, pushing these doors open. So you got the kitchen in the back, maybe a little bit small bathroom with a shower, and
Yep.
then you've got this really cool,
It's such a cute kitchen. It has
yeah,
a dishwasher which is
Wow.
like unheard of.
Oh, look at this. Just like you're in Scandinavia.
It has a very Scandi vibe.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's really cute.
And does this like pull anyway? This is
That's their furniture for staging. I would personally go the route of getting a if you go back, I would get a Murphy bed and put it on the wall where that couch is,
mm,
and then I would put a fold up desk on the other side so that you
cool.
have a desk to work at and a bed, and I think that that would be a super functional layout. It's very spacious in there. I've actually been inside of it in real life, and it's so cute. And then the basement has a ton of space in this house.
It
There's like
really does. Look
a
how cool
ton of
this is. Is this the yard of
that's
the main for the
that's the yard for the main house. It's
and on the
adorable.
other side of this fence is the ADU. So it's totally separate.
Yeah, completely separate. So that's the ADU. The fence there was the neighbor's yard.
Oh, got it.
I know
I
it's kind
see.
of
So this
hard
is
to
not the ADU. This is the next door. This is
yeah,
the
that's the next
neighbor.
door neighbor's
Okay.
pergola, but if you go to the next slide,
I
this
see.
is the ADU, and it is completely detached. It's quite close, but it's detached.
Got it.
But yeah,
Cool. Just got a little door on this end. This must be the bathroom here.
yep,
Does this go into the ADU or go into the house? That goes
it
to
goes in the
ADU.
ADU.
Okay.
So the
Yeah.
ADU has
Got the raised
access.
beds. And then here's the yard for the main house. Oh, this is what I like.
Yes.
Living room, dining, kitchen, two bedrooms with like would you call this a Jack and Jill bathroom?
It's not a Jack and Jill
Little
bathroom.
hallway.
The entrance
Little
is in the
hallway.
hallway, so
Yeah.
not a full-on Jack and Jill. You don't have to enter through the bedrooms to access the bathroom, which is
And
nice.
then you've got the deck, living, you got your main space with the kitchen, the bathroom, the shower. This is like one of the coolest bathrooms in town, really. And then
It's
underneath you
honestly
just got
really nice.
yeah, the
It's
ADU
super
bathroom
nice.
is a showstopper.
The
Um,
ADU itself is a pretty big showstopper. I mean, I what's amazing to me is that when I checked how much that ADU would make per night,
yeah,
uh,
let's get to the numbers.
it's so the estimate on AirDNA is $162 a night at 55% occupancy, which translates to around 33,000 a year, which is not chump change.
$33,000 a year. All right, time getting my Hewlett
Are we
Packard
doing the
calculator out here. So 33,000 a year divided by 12.
for every teacher who told you that you can't use calculators when you're a grown up at work? They lied. We use them all the time.
2750 a month. So I'm going to stop sharing this property link, and I'm going to share. I made like an illustration of potential mortgage options here. So I'm going to share that, and I'll put the links to both the property and this mortgage illustration in the show notes. So we're going to go share presentation. Boom. All right. This house is currently listed for sale at $585,000. I'm showing you 3% down, 10% down, and 20% down. Today's interest rates, I don't know if I've said this yet, July 11th, some of the highest rates I've seen in my 20-year career. I'm marking this down at 7.375. But it doesn't matter because we're getting so much income from this house.
Yeah.
At 3% down, your bottom line plus the fees and the taxes and everything for the state of Oregon, I think you probably need about $35,000 all in, and you can borrow the rest. You have a loan of $567,450. Your mortgage payment would be approximately $45.62, and that includes your taxes, your homeowners, and your mortgage insurance.
Yeah.
Now, let's subtract the rental income from this, 2750. So make that negative and then add 4562. 1800 a month is your sort of functional carrying cost. And with 3% down on your primary residence, you're going to deduct the interest on this, probably because the loan amount is big enough that the interest you're going to incur for that year is going to exceed your standard deduction. So if you have enough to itemize that's more than your standard deduction, you're going to do that. And the net value of that is about $1,300 a month. This is annualized. This report takes the tax benefit
But over the whole year and divides it by 12.
and divides it
So
by 12. That's right.
so add that 1,300 to your 2,750.
Yeah. So right now you're carrying 1,800 after receiving the income to help you make this payment. and then you're going to file taxes, and
Like you're gonna get.
you're going to get all this money back. So I'm going to subtract another 1303. 509 per month is your net. That's the
Bananas.
net budget hit after annualized. Obviously, you're going to have to like make the payment and put a lot of energy into organizing all of these
Correct.
features. But once you kind of get it moving, I think you'll
It's
find it's
it's
easier than you
yeah.
think.
And what's really cool is that like you actually can't rent this same house in this location for 1,800 a month. You can't. It does. Houses in that area rent for around on the low end 25 and on the average 28 to 32.
You're talking about for the main house?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you couldn't
totally. Yeah,
rent
you couldn't.
you
That's what I'm
couldn't
saying.
rent
Yeah,
it for 1,800 a month. Like you can't. Some people will be like, oh well, I could rent something for that. It's like no, actually you can't here. You couldn't get this house for 1,800 a month. And on top of that, that money that you're paying towards your mortgage, like 2/3, you're paying towards the you're paying your principal down. And so at the end, when you go to refinance or sell it, you get that money back. So it's not
that's
like
right.
money lost the same way that a rent is lost. Rent goes away. It's paying someone else's mortgage. With this, you're paying your own mortgage, and
Right.
actually, your Airbnb guests are paying most of it for you.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So let me go back to the property.
How much would you need to make to afford this house, James?
Well, it depends on how much debt you've got. I always just let's assume you've got $500 a month in additional debt.
Like
Um,
car payment?
car payment, student loan, et cetera, maybe credit cards or something like that. And so the total payment, so if you did the minimum down payment and we were looking at 4562, I'm going to add $500 a month of other debts. That's 5,062 a month. And we want that to be about, I mean, the most aggressive look is 50% debt to income ratio. So if I times that by two, $10,124 a month you would need to qualify. And you can use not the Airbnb potential to qualify, but you can take an ADU and assign a long-term rent to help you qualify for this mortgage. So
Yeah.
of the $10,124 a month you would likely need, how much do you think you could rent that studio for? $1,000 a month?
I think 1,000.
Yeah,
I'd be conservative with 1,000. You could probably get more because it has its own yard, but let's be
true.
conservative for
Let's call it $1,000 a month.
yeah.
And so the lending rules will allow you to take 75% of that. So I'm going to take $750 out of that per month. So $93.75 needed per month. And let's say you're buying it with a partner, so divided by two. So two incomes of about $4,700 a month is what you would need. So that times 12, you need about $56,000 a year for two people to collaborate and buy this house. Or, you need about what is that? $112,000 a year of personal income if you're just a single person. And then in addition to that, we would add and if you have no debt, you wouldn't need to have that much income.
Yeah.
It would reduce that by quite a bit. So if
I
you
mean,
have zero debt and you're just trying to qualify for the mortgage, so for
I feel like, at least in my community and sphere, that was like, that's a lot of entry level engineers at Intel. That's a lot of junior developers at Squarespace. That's a fairly standard salary
yeah,
for a newer professional, and I think that that is a
absolutely.
totally doable amount. And if you are in a different type of line of work, such as service,
Hmm.
that's usually two service people could absolutely carry that mortgage.
Yes,
And really, that Airbnb could be more. We're just
yes.
estimating on the conservative side based on AirDNA because AirDNA is usually underestimating.
AirDNA. You want to talk about AirDNA a little bit more?
Yeah, AirDNA is a software that aggregates data from like Airbnb and VRBO and other short-term rental platforms and estimates how much you could get per night on a property. And they actually have a free version where you can go in and type in a property's address and get an estimate for the unit in it.
Hmm.
Pretty
You
cool.
pay, and there's a paid version. What do you get for the paid version?
The paid version, you just get a lot more data. In my opinion, the paid version isn't worth it unless you're gonna like start really doing a lot of these. Like if you
Right.
just have one, I would do the free version. But if you're gonna have like more than three, it's worth it to get the paid version. It's just like $400 a month. It's really expensive. It's a very
Gotcha.
expensive software, but their free version allows you to get a good idea of what you can rent. And
Gotcha.
it is pretty accurate from the perspective that it's not going to like overestimate.
That's awesome, and I like that it has a vacancy built into it as well. I think
Yes.
that's
Yeah, this place is estimating a 55% occupancy, and I think when it comes to short-term rental, like people get nervous about that kind of occupancy. So they're like, "Well, that's a lot of vacancy." But with short-term rentals, more vacancy means less work, less turnover.
I also
So as long as you're getting the numbers that you want to make your payments and that it pencils for you, doesn't
mhm.
really matter what the occupancy is as long as you're okay with it.
And I think you could potentially market this one because it just really looks so good online. I think you could market it and get much better,
Oh, yeah. Well,
much a much lower vacancy rate than that would be
it's
my
also
opinion.
in, like, a really good spot for commuters, so I think it would also potentially make a really great, um, furnished finder for, like, a working nurse, like a travel nurse
Yeah,
or a medical student, just
interesting.
because it's very, like, clean and efficient, but it has everything you need,
Yeah.
and you could get, like, 3 months at a time at, like,
Mhm.
$2,000 a month.
Hmm.
So it's it's a pretty sweet little setup. I think it would make someone a great first home. And then when you're ready to move on, you rent out the main house and the ADU,
Yeah, and
and you're
then you've got
making
a real
meals.
profit center, like a real
Yeah,
profit center.
yeah, yeah,
Awesome. Well, we're going to put the information about the property and the financing in the show notes. I hope if you're seeing this, it's still for sale. You should reach out, and if you have any questions about it, we'd be happy to open the door for you. We'd be happy to put a
yep,
financing plan together for you for this or any other property that
that tickles your
catch
fancy.
your eye, or if you want to just get this type of insight and input on your home search, call us
Yeah,
up.
we
That's
would
what we're
love
here
to
for.
talk to you. You
Yeah,
know, our goal is to help people realize the benefits of home ownership because there is a lot of benefit to be had there, and we genuinely wanna see people succeed at that,
absolutely. Our
and
mission,
so
the
yeah,
mission of Neo Home Loans is to help families build generational wealth with real estate, like full stop. So it's not just getting mortgages, it's about successfully buying and owning homes, which is an ongoing process, right?
yep. And my mission is to teach people how to use real estate to change their lives because it changed mine. So you can check it. Where can they find you, James?
Sorcha, I'm glad you asked. It's pdxhomeloan.com is the easiest way to find me.
Awesome. And you can find me at Sorcha Homes PDX that you see on the screen there. Also at Living Room Realty, which is my brokerage, or at 971-444-9155. I would love to chat with you. I'm licensed in Oregon and Washington, and I have a national network of realtors that I work with who also specialize in this area of real estate.
I can't remember
So,
if I said this before, but I am licensed in Oregon and Washington. We're based in Portland, Oregon, but my company, Neo Home Loans, is licensed in 48 states. So if you happen to be watching this from Florida or Iowa or Idaho or wherever, just call me up and I'd be happy to put a financing plan
yeah,
together with you and
James can
show you
help
how to.
you just about anywhere in the
That's
US.
right. Just about
That's
anywhere.
pretty cool.
Excellent.
And Neo has a really, really cool platform. Even if you're not ready right now to buy a home, I encourage you to reach out to James because he has a lot of great resources and tools. And if you're like, well, I'm a few years out, he still wants to talk to you. And it's
Absolutely. Yeah, we
better to
have
start sooner than later.
I can put together a credit plan, credit improvement plan, savings plan. Like we're all about planning. So
Yeah.
let's plan it up.
Yes. Hope is not a strategy. Planning is a strategy.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
So
Sorcha,
like, subscribe, follow, share with a friend, and thank you for watching.
thank you. All right. See you next time.
Bye.